Yeah,
Thank you,
hello.
sir, for this opportunity.
No problem.
Hello.
No problem. No problem. So Srijan, to start with the interview, we will start with your introduction. Okay, just provide a brief introduction about yourself, like your education, your work experience, and whatever things you have done in SAP MM. So just give a brief introduction about yourself so that we can take it forward.
Okay, sir. I'm Srujan Gowda. I am from Bangalore. I have completed my BE in civil engineering from VTU. I did my I I did my BE in civil engineering. After that, I got an opportunity in entity data as a SAP MM associate consultant. Then in entity, I have been working 3 years as a in 3 years for one implementation and so two support project. My first project was Disha India Private Limited. It was a implementation and support project. Here I involved in business blueprint and realization and final preparation phase. After that, I was worked in EMMV System Limited. It was a support project. Here I involved in day-to-day activities, including handling incident tickets and change request management. Okay, sir, this is my introduction.
Okay, fine. So you have mentioned like you have worked in the end-to-end implementation. So can you let me know what was your roles and responsibility in BBP phase?
In BBP phase, sir, I gathered information from client by asking some set of questions.
Mm-hmm.
Then what they answered, I captured in ASIS document, and we provide the solution in 2B documents, sir.
Okay.
Then
So
after
okay. So can you
okay,
provide one example like whatever you have requirement gathered and how you have configured, like how you have mapped it into SAP. So can you give an example of that?
okay, sir. Means I gathered means what are the plants are you there? How many plants are there? Means for as a plant wise, I gathered plant description and plant address locations and like that means material master data. For example, if you take material types, I gathered some number ranges. What type of number ranges do you want? Means internal number range you want or external number range? And then procurement type. For example, in-house you are procure for that material or external. Then field selection, which field selection you want to hide or display. Like that, we gather some information. Then we map into the SAP solution.
Okay, fine, great. So in the realization phase, whatever configuration we have done, like what kind of configuration we have done?
In realization, sir, I configured enterprise structure.
Mm-hmm.
Say context instruction, enterprise structure I configured.
Mm-hmm.
Then material master, vendor master, PIR. After that, P2P cycle configuration and inventory management configuration I have done in realization phase.
Okay. So what are the configuration are needed for material master?
Material master, for example, needed means material output length means how many lengths required. Material output lengths and material group configuration we need, and material type configuration we need, and uh, material type, then purchase value key, and then ABC indicator, ABC indicator, then mm, ABC ABC indicator, and field selection also need, and number ranges. These are all things we will done in material master, sir.
Okay, okay, fine. So uh, okay, so you have also done the P2P cycle configuration, right?
Yes, sir, I have done.
So what are the configuration that you have done for P2P cycle? Let's say for P2P cycle, what are the configuration we need?
Okay. In P2P cycle, for example, if you take a PO, I configure document type. For
Mm-hmm,
that document type, I configure number ranges, field selection, item category allowed,
mm-hmm.
and these are all things are configured and release procedure,
Okay,
tolerance limit. These are all configuration I have done in P2P cycle for in PO.
okay. Let's take an example. In a PO, I have multiple line items. Okay, I have, let's say, multiple line items is there, and I need to release on the line item. Let's say I want to release the line item one, but I don't want to release the line item two. So is it possible for purchase order?
No, no, sir, we can't do like that because in PO we can release only at header level. Item
Okay,
level release in a standard SAP not recommended because it is external document. That's why it is released. We can release only at header level only.
okay, okay, fine. So whatever things are required for configuring the release strategy.
Release strategy means we need to create define characteristics, class, and release groups. In class, what are the characters we created? We need to assign to the class and groups. In groups means when here we assign the classes. Then release codes. Release codes means approvers. Release codes also important. Then release indicator means it represents the it is blocked or released like that. It represents means release indicator. After release strategy means sequence. Who has to approve first? Who has to approve second? Like that we can assign in release strategy. Then in under release strategy, release prerequisite is there, release classification is there, and release status is there, and stimulation is there. These are all things we need to do in release strategy, sir.
Okay, okay, fine. So what are the characteristics that you have taken for your, let's say, in your implementation project? What are the characteristics that you have used for release strategy?
Document type, plant, and PO net value, and company code.
Okay, okay, yeah, fine. So you have also mentioned that you are having knowledge on intra and inter STO, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So can you let me know what is the basic difference between both of the process? Like what is the intra STO and what is the inter STO?
Okay, sir. In interactive, or the transfer of material from plant to plant between under one company code. In inter means we transfer the plant to material from plant to plant between two company codes. Here,
Okay,
document type we use NUB in intra. In inter we use NB. In here UB intra. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
delivery type we use NL. Here NLCC. Here one step. Here two step movement type is 641. Here two step process is 643. Here one step is 647 in intra. In two step, in inter, one step process movement type is 645.
Okay, fine. So let's say you are having two plants in two different location. Let's say I have one plant in Karnataka and one more plant I have in Gujarat. Okay, so I want to make the stock transfer order for that. So what kind of scenario I can manage in this one? So should I go for intercompany or should I go for intra company?
Means one company code, there are two plants, sir. You are asking.
Yeah, maybe in one company code I have two plants, but
Okay,
the plants are in different locations.
we can use, you can go for intra, sir.
Mhm.
Intra company, intra STO, you can go for.
Okay, so if you are going with the intra company, I believe there will be no like accounting documents will be generating, right?
In intra accounting documents will be generated, sir.
How you can manage that one?
Means accounting entries will be generated means based on receiving supplying plant material price what
Mhm.
is there, that price will come automatically.
Okay. Yeah, fine. So normally, if I say like I will be moving the products from one state to another state, right now you understand like you are already experienced in GST configuration, right? So there is a GST called IGST or CGST is there, right? So if you are
Sir.
moving product from one state to another state, so you will be having to pay some GST. So how you are going to configure that GST for this intra-company stock transfer?
Means here we use separate means for central we use separately and for state we use separately, sir.
Mhm.
Separate GST we will use.
Okay,
Means IGST we will use
okay.
for
So, but my question is, in the intra STO process, will there be any billing documents?
intra. No, sir. Here we will use performa means performa invoice we will use.
Okay, okay, fine. Okay, great. Okay, so you have also mentioned like you are having knowledge on cutover activities. So what are the cutover activities?
Means cutover activities means we extracting the data from legacy system and uploading into the SAP system. Means for example, open PO, open stocks. These are all things we will upload in cutover activities. In these cutover activities, we block the transaction, business transaction that time.
Okay, fine. So let's say I have one requirement that in the cutover activity, I need to upload the purchase order from the legacy system to the new system. Okay. So what are the things or checkpoints I need to check before uploading the data into the system?
Means we need to check is there open PO that is our completed PO like that we need to check. Means
Mhm,
open PO means GR is completed or invoice is completed. Means PO is order is open.
mhm.
Like that we need to check first. If there is a that PO is open, that time we need to we need to upload. If completed PO, we need to upload in cutover activities. Based
Okay,
on business requirement, if we want business to transfer upload, that time we upload. If business don't need to upload that one, that time we will leave that one. Means we
okay,
open PO, we will upload compulsory.
okay. Yeah, fine. Okay, so you have also worked on the hypercare support, right?
Yes, sir.
So can you let me know what are the issue that you face during the hypercare support? Some challenges, some issues.
In hypercare support, some end users they don't know anything about. Means some end user how to operate SAP system. Means that are things they don't know. Means that time we need to teach, we need to learn again. Like that, that is
Okay,
the main
okay, yeah,
issues.
fine. So you are also worked on the change request process, right? CR process.
Yes, sir.
So can you let me know what are the CR that you have handled?
CR means reason code handles reason code for moment type.
Mm-hmm.
That reason code for moment for 321 user raise that ticket. That time we handle that one by going to OMJJT code in in development. I give the reason code for that moment type.
Okay, okay. So this is a standard change request, right? You're just updating, you're just creating a reason code for that one. Anything apart from that, any major changes you have handled?
major changes means another one is, sir, after purchase requisition, they don't want to release the PR.
Mm-hmm.
Means after change the PR, we can't edit anything like that. They raise the request. That
Mm-hmm.
time, we in release strategy in development server, we in release indicator, I changed the changeable indicator to one. Means we can't change anything in once PR is released. That that one I configured.
Okay, okay, fine.
That one also a change request.
Okay, fine. So you have mentioned also you are having some knowledge on the IDOC process also, right?
Ah, yes, sir.
So what kind of scenario you have worked on the IDOC process?
Means master data and transaction data transferring.
Okay, okay. So what kind of IDOCs you have encountered, like types of IDOCs?
Types of IDOC means inbound IDOC and outbound IDOC.
Okay, okay, fine. So you are also mentioned like you have worked on the S4 HANA system also.
Means I have knowledge on that. I didn't work on.
Okay, fine. So what is the major difference between S4 HANA and ECC system?
The major difference means in S4 in ECC we use the third party database. In S4 HANA we use HANA database.
Mm-hmm.
Here in material number is 18 digit in ECC. In S4 HANA material number is 40 digits. Here vendor master and customer master there is a separate fields if separate files. In S4 HANA there is a one transaction means business partner is there. Here we can go we can do both in business partner means on customer and vendor master we can do here. Then then what? Mm, that's it.
Okay, okay, fine. So you have also worked on the special procurement process like subcontracting consignment process, right?
Yes, sir.
So can you explain me the subcontracting process, like process flow and
Okay, sir. Means subcontracting is means business providing a component to subcontracting vendor. Vendor manufacture that final product and return back to the vendor. Here, first we need to here we will create the material master with subcontracting with finished product and components. Then create the subcontracting vendor. Then PIR, we create the PIR with info category subcontracting. In PIR, we maintain the vendor service charges only. Then we need to maintain means BOM we need to create for that finished product. Once we created BOM, then we need to go PR. In PR, we need to take this item category L. After that, we need to go for PO. In PO, we explore the component. You can explore the component by exploding option, or we can give components manually also. Here we in subcontracting ARP in PO, we need to maintain the vendor service charges. Means how much charges we will offer, we will ask that amount we will maintain here. Then once PO sent to the vendor, along with PO, we will give components to the vendor by using ME20T code. Or we can use 541 movement type in Migo. In Migo 541 movement also, we can send components to the vendor. Then we receive the finished goods along with component. We receive the finished goods with movement type 101 along with components consumed automatically with movement type 543. Then we do the perform the invoice for vendor service charges. In before that, in Migo, accounting entries will be generated. In accounting entries, BSX credit overall stock credit debit will happen. WR BSV change stock is credit, and FRL vendor charges credit debit, and WRX credit GRIR clearing account. Then GBB VBO credit means component consumption uh, uh, debit, and BSX credit. BSX means stock account credit. These are all the accounting entries will be generated in subcontracting.
Okay. So when this accounting entries will happen, like whenever you are supplying the goods?
No, sir, no. During supply, no, 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 no. We will not generate.
Why?
We are because means here we are sending the material. That's why we need to here accounting entries will not be generated, because this is giving for finished product, for making finished product. That's why accounting
Okay,
entries will not be generated.
okay, fine. So can you explain the consignment process?
Okay. Consignment process means vendor keep his material in vendor business premises, but vendor is the owner. When business transfer the material from consignment to their own location, that time liability will generated. Means here first we need to create material, then we need to create vendor for consignment process, and uh, PIR for PIR for info record, create PIR with info category consignment. Then here in PIR we need to maintain tax code and price of the material. Then create a PO. In PO we need to take item category K. If you take item category K, we can see price and net currency. These are all things in hide mode. We can't do anything. It price it will take from the PIR here. Then here we can maintain quantity, and these are all things we can maintain. After that, we receive the goods with movement type 101, 101K. This is consignment. Whenever business want that material, that time they do transfer posting by using 411K. Here accounting entries will be generated. Means BSX positive, KON is a credit negative.
Okay, okay, fine. Okay, fine, Sujan. So we will end the interview and we will be discussing about the outcome. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah, right now we'll be continuing. Okay.
O- Okay,
So,
okay, sir.
okay.
Sir.
So first of all, your resume is good. Okay, it looks good. You have maintained all of the portions very neat and clearly, and
Thank
you
you.
are having a good knowledge on the overall process. Okay, so there is no issue with that. Just for this HANA, SAP S4 HANA. Okay, just take a little bit more knowledge into that. What is the difference in HANA? What is the requirement of HANA? Why we are using the HANA? So just get into those terms. Okay, HANA. Let's say this material characters and all that are very minimum things. What we can say, you can include it in the ending, but basically there are some database tables have been changed, like business partner has been introduced, what you have mentioned, so that is a major point. And there are, let's say, material ledger has been made mandatory, that is a major thing.
Oh,
Okay, so these kind of things you can include, like these are the changes. And a major thing is the Fury app. Okay, so Fury app
okay.
is the major enhancement or major changes that is there in S4 HANA. So basically, um, we can use the Fury apps directly from the mobile devices to work on the S4HANA. So before we are having only the desktop to log into the GUI and work from there. Okay, so now we have Fury, so we can access it from any kind of tabs or anything. We can access it from there. Okay, and second thing, right now there is a let's say this LTMC method is there. Okay, so where you can upload the data in the form format. Okay, before we are uploading it in the Excel format, so now there is a forms are there, so there we can directly upload the data. Okay, so these are some of the changes in the S4 HANA. So apart from that, everything looks good. And one more thing, okay, two more things are there. One is your cutover activities. Okay, so when I asked you, so cutover activities, what are the things you need to perform or checklist you need to check before you are uploading the purchase order? So purchase order means open purchase order only. We don't have to look into closed purchase order, because only open purchase orders we will be uploading. So before uploading that, there are some dependency entries are there. Let's say if you are going for creating a purchase order, let's say you must have the vendor master, you must have the material master, you must have the condition records, you must have the condition types. So these are the dependent entries, right? So first you need to check these dependent entries are already uploaded to the system. Then you can go for finally for the purchase order. Okay, so first you need to
Okay.
check all the dependent entries that you have to answer, or that you have to say. Like first we have to check for the dependent entries. So like condition record, condition types, we need to check these kind of things, and we need to ensure that the vendor is created, material is created, or for the plant material is extended properly. So first we need to check for this one, these one, then we can go for the uploading. Okay, so this is the
Okay,
first
sir.
thing. Second thing, if you are saying about the hypercare support, whatever things you have said, it is correct. Like sometime end users are not that much of knowledgeable. They are not having the knowledge of the process. But basically, you have already trained the users, right? Before that
Yeah.
cutover phase, you must have trained the users. So you have to tell some of the challenges. Okay, at least keep one challenge that in the configuration level, or there is any enhancement was there which was were not working properly, or there was some issues are there. So you just have to mention something. If there is any kind of things are there, you have to mention like one or two issues over there, real issue you have to include over there. Okay, so that is fine.
Okay.
Like user related issues, that is fine. Like users are not that much of knowledgeable, so you are facing those kind of challenges, that is fine. Apart from that, just mention one or two issues. So major issue, let's say your enhancement is not working, or some configuration you have done, or some configuration you have left over there. You there was some issue due to the, or let's say some forms or some reports have not been developed properly, so there is some issue with that one. So you can answer likewise. Okay,
Sir, but sir, in quality server, we means we check all these things. It's
yes,
working or
yes,
it is working.
normally what will happen, we check all the scenarios. Let's say for the positive test, okay, there might be integration between most of the scenarios, there might be integration to other parts also. Okay, might be due to the integration there is, means it is not possible to test all the regression test, right? So you can go for the, let's say, positive test and negative test, you can just go for that one. So regression test, let's say fully you have not done the regression test. So what is a regression test? Basically you have to check for the let's say you are having a uh, let's say you are having a document type. For that document type you have configured something, and you have not tested it for the other document type. So whenever the user is using the other document type, there they might be facing some of the issue or some of the challenges which you have not tested in the quality environment. Before going live you have not tested that. Okay, so that is a kind of challenge. So you can see these kind of things we have not done, or we have not I have the enough time to test all of those, let's say integration point of integration part. So these kind of issues came, we have handled. So these things needs to be handled in the hypercare support. That's why there is a hypercare support is there. Okay, if some configurations are missing, if something is missing, then we can address it in the hypercare support. Okay, that's why we have the hypercare support. Definitely there will be some settings will be missed. Okay, so no issue
Okay.
on that one, but basic things you don't mention those kind of things. Let's say you have not configured the release strategy is not triggering. These things you have already tested, you might have already tested. Okay, there might be some, let's say these kind of things you can say, like let's say for one document type we have configured all of the things for the, but we have not done the regression test for the other document type. For one of the document type we have not done, but while we are while the end user started using that document type, they have faced some challenges. Okay, so these kind of things you can answer. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so
Means
yeah.
means which which topic we need to means upgrades we mean to improve.
um I would say you just grab a little bit more knowledge into the S4 HANA. Okay, and
Oh,
grams of knowledge in the CR process. Okay, just if you are saying that you have worked in a CR process, um, like you have said this um, like they are
reason code.
saying, yeah, reason code. So just like explain the process. Okay, when you are going for a CR, explain the process, what is the CR process is there. So first there will be a requirement, so you have to take the requirement, you have to analyze what should be there, what needs to be there, how you can configure that one. So these kind of things you can just explain on a brief. So CR is not like it is a small process. CR is a, when we call it a major change process, major change process is when it is having some changes to the existing process. Okay, so other than that there is standard change process, like you have said something on the what you have said for the standard change.
Changeable and means reason code one then
Yeah,
changeable
yeah,
and rest.
reason code, you have mentioned the reason code for the
In,
moment type, so that is a standard
release
changes. Okay, it
in
is,
release
yeah, so that is a standard change. So you can get these kind of tickets on a regular basis. But something, let's say some critical changes, okay, let's say they need some enhancement, they need to add some field in the purchase order, or they need to add some field in the purchase requisition. So these kind of things can come under a major change process. Okay, so in the major change process, just answer what is the process over there, how you're taking it forward. Okay, just check on those kind of things. Okay, other than that everything is fine. And idoc also, you just grab some more knowledge, what are the types of idocs are there. So idocs are not like inbound or outbound idoc. There are message types are there, idoc types are there. So just like if you are saying the master data, you need to say, let's say your matmas type idoc is there, and your cremas type of idoc is there, debmas type of idoc is there. This is for master data. Okay, let's say any kind of transactional data, let's say for purchase order there is order type idoc is there. Let's say there is a goods receipt, for that I believe MB, GMR or GCR, some kind of IDOCs are there for MBGR or something like that for the GI. So you can just look into those kind of IDOCs. Okay, and look into the whatever the IDOCs are there, what are the segments are there, how you can search for a IDOC. So those kind of things. Just I have not asked you much on the IDOC, but you need to prepare on that. Okay, so if you are little bit confused on the IDOC, so just practice on the IDOC a little bit more. Okay,
no sir, I know but that time I didn't answer
fine,
properly.
no problem, no problem. Okay, so these
uh,
kind of these things you just like study a little bit more, practice a little bit more. Other than that everything is fine. Definitely you will be If you are going for the interview, like if you are presenting in your interview like this, definitely you are going to be succeeding. There will be no issue on that one. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, fine then. Bye, Srujan.
Okay, sir.
All the best for your coming interviews.